working on evaluating an expression. What do I mean by evaluating expression? It is just giving a value to the expression based on a certain given value, which is in this case the 0, the 1, and the -1. We will see how to do this in a minute. Whenever we're trying to evaluate an expression, are going to try to use it in its simplest form. And in its simplest form means it's actually expanded and then reduced so that we combine like terms. So actually it gives us less work to do moving forward. Now, the expression is already written down. And what I'm going to notice is this first part of it is an identity. It is just adding two things and squaring it. And the second one is the same idea with the exception of the minus. And the last part is already expanded. We don't really need to worry about it. Now, this first one is of the form a plus b squared. So we are going to show what is its expanded form in terms of using the shortcut of the identity, and that is it. And now I'm going to apply it. My a is the 2x, so I'm going to square all of 2x, which gives me 4x squared. Next up, I have plus, we have 2ab, which means 2 times a times b. 2 times 2x is 4x. 4x times 3 will give me 12x. And then I need to square my 3 because it shows b squared and my 3 is the b. So b squared is going to mean I have a 9 right here. Now please notice this minus right here. This could be tricky, so please be aware of it. I'm going to rewrite it and I'm going to keep my parentheses. If this was a plus, I would not care about this whatsoever. But since it's a minus, it's going to lead to an issue. So I have my minus right here and I'm going to go ahead and expand this second identity. Now this second identity is of the similar structure to my first one. The only difference is it is a minus, which means there should be a minus before the 2ab. Now I'm going to go ahead and expand it. My a is the 2x, which means if I square it, I now have 4x squared. And then my minus 2ab, which means I put a minus here. I do 2 times a times b. 2 times 2x is 4x. 4x times 3 is 12x. And then I go ahead and square my 3 to give me a 9. And I'm going to close the parentheses so that I move on to this minus in my next step. And I'm just going to rewrite my minus 24x plus 3 right now because I don't really need to do anything to it. So now I'm going to go ahead and do 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. And I'm going to apply my minus right here. Minus 4x squared. So 4x squared gets a minus. And then minus expands to the 12x as well, which means I get plus 12x. And then minus applies to the 9, which means I now have a minus 9. And then I'm going to rewrite my minus 24x and plus 3. Now this, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my like terms, but we're going to notice something interesting here. 4x squared minus 4x squared, that just eliminated itself because 4 minus 4 is 0. Now, same thing for the next part. 12x plus 12x, this does not eliminate. They have the same sign. And I have a minus 24x here. I'm going to make use of that. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my plus 9 with my minus 9. And now I have a plus 3 right here. So in this case, I'm actually going to be left in a very interesting situation. Realistically speaking, I have no terms containing x left. Let's take a look. 4x squared minus 4x squared. That is 0x squared. And I don't need to write that because it's just 0. So that's it in regards to the x squared. What about the rest of it? 12x plus 12x. That is plus 24x. But look what we have here. We have a minus 24x right here. So that doesn't matter either. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to my constants. Plus 9, minus 9, plus 3. This is just plus 9 minus 9, which is 0, and I am left with a 3. And now my actual final answer is just 3 and nothing other than 3. So since this situation occurred, our value is just 3. So what I'm going to go ahead and do in this regard so that I can show you how to evaluate an expression is actually just get a random expression and I'm going to replace these values in it. So what I will be doing right now is getting a random expression In this case, we're going to consider that expression to be 4x squared plus 7x minus 22. And I'm going to go ahead and call it ax. And then I'm going to calculate a1. And as well, I'm going to go ahead and take my numbers from the previous situation, which were a1, a0, and a minus 1. So next up, I'm going to be doing a to the of minus 1. And lastly, I will be doing a of 0. And when it comes to evaluating expression, this is what it looks like. Notice one simple thing. See how you have an x right here? In this first statement, that x is now replaced by a 1. And in the second one, it is replaced by a minus 1. And in the third one, it's replaced by a 0. So all I have to do is go ahead and replace the letter x with that specific value. So I'm going to rewrite it, but instead of x, I will be writing this value. So it's going to be 4, 1 squared, plus 7 with the 1 in it, minus 32. And this is going to be 4 times 1 plus 7 times 1 minus 32. This is 4 plus 7 minus 32, which just gives me 4 plus 7 is an 11. 11 minus 32 would be a minus 21. That's it. Same situation occurs for the next question, which is going to be 4, and this time around I replace by minus 1. And I keep on replacing by minus 1 till I am not left with any uh, number. Now, originally I had made a mistake. I had wrote in minus 22 here, but I rewrote it as minus 32. We'll just go with minus 32 for the purpose of the example. It doesn't really make a difference. And minus 32. Once again, we calculate. This is going to be 4 times 1 plus 7 times minus 1, which actually means minus 7. And then a minus 32. This is going to end up giving me 4 minus 7 minus 32, which is 4 minus 39, which is just minus 35. The whole point of evaluating an expression, you're giving it a value by giving x a certain value so that you can just calculate it to a specific number. A of 0, this is going to be really easy. This is just 4 times 0 plus 7 times 0 minus 32. This is just 0 plus 0 minus 32, which just gives me a minus 32. And that's it in regards to evaluating an expression.